Okay. All right. We're going to try this again. We're not going to put the phone up on the computer screen because hello. Okay. So, sorry about all of that. Oh my gosh. So my phone fell onto the keyboard and my computer had to reboot. Like it made my computer stop. I don't. So my computer turned itself off and like literally the phone fell and hit the power button or something and the computer's like, oh, we're starting all over again. So very, very sorry for that. We have Instagram now over here, so sorry for that, Instagram folks. And so hopefully you all will come back. Come back. Come back. Okay, so we were talking about, and hopefully you will all come back. And I'm so sorry for the technical difficulties. I did see a comment in the first video about someone who was looking to connect with a loved one in spirit. I see you, and we will try to get some connection for you. So, okay, we're back. Hopefully people will be coming back. Yay! Sorry about that. I don't know, like, hello, 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 hello. Oh, you're all back. Yay, hello, hello, welcome back, welcome back. So my phone, which I stick to the side of my computer screen so that we can do Facebook and Instagram. At the same time, my phone literally fell off, hit the keyboard, and the computer restarted. So that's what happened. My sincerest apologies to all concerned. I'm so sorry. And I have the phone over here kind of on the lower. We're going to get something else to do that with Instagram, so hopefully we don't have that anymore. And so my apologies. So we were talking before about giving ourselves grace when we have something that is, hello again, that is a crisis moment where we are pushed way out of our comfort zone and we are in a moment of having to react from instinct and giving ourselves grace about it so that we are not beating ourselves up for the way that we are handling things, or because in a moment of sheer panic we can understand that we may not be our best selves. We may not have that opportunity to be like, okay, let me just breathe. Let me think about this. How is the best way for me to handle? No, you run into the street and you get the child out of the danger or whatever the situation is. You slam on your brakes. You pull off to the side. You take a breath and you say, whew, okay. And we understand that we have handled the situation in the best way that we could in the moment that we had to make those split-second decisions, and using the best tools that we have in our arsenal. And everyone's arsenal is different. And arsenal maybe is not the right word because it's not weapons. It is in our toolbox, okay? And so we're using the best tools and the things that come to us of instinct, right? I love the original Karate Kid, right? The original Karate Kid where, he does wax on and wax off, and Ralph Macchio is going, what does this have to do with anything? Wax on, wax off, until Mr. Miyagi goes, hoya, 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 and just by instinct, the kid knows how to protect himself. He knows what's in his toolbox because he has done it 100 times and he has gotten that instinct. And so if you have things in your toolbox that allow you to make good decisions in a split second of crisis, yay. Yay. And if you don't, because unfortunately the way that we build those muscles is having to do with crisis, right? And if you don't have that skill set, that is okay. And I want to talk about all this today, not because there was some crisis that we had, because again, everyone is okay, right? Everything is okay. But we're coming into a shifting year. We are into a shifting year. We have the new moon coming on Thursday. This is the new moon in Capricorn, and this is a time of expansion. There is so much in 2024 that is expanding. There is so much stuff that is going to be going on in 2024. This is an earthquake year. There's things now that could be great. That could be great when we shake things up and we, you shake that snow globe and see what falls out, and then you look around and you go, whoa, things are like really good and things are, really different. Hi. And that can be really great, but it can also be really scary. And we can see that there is a lot of negative things that are being loud. We talk a lot about things when it's loud, right? That the negative news is always very loud, and the positive, metaphysically aware, the spiritually growing news is quite quiet, right? So that doesn't mean it's not out there. It doesn't mean it's not happening. It is. And we want to be part of that. So when we see these changes that are coming up in the world, that the news or the social media or whatever it is that's going on, that is shaking that snow globe and causing that moment where we have this panic to think, hey, welcome back, Ellen. That where we have this moment of panic to say, and we act on instinct, give ourselves grace. Give ourselves grace to be able to say, I'm doing the best that I can with the things in my toolbox and making the best decisions they could in the time of that critical moment, okay? Because I'm telling you this because they're making me aware there are going to be a lot of critical moments in 24. There's going to be a lot of critical moments in 24. There's going to be a lot of things that are going to shake us. And we can work now on putting things in our toolbox that say, okay, I want to handle a crisis to the best of my ability. These are things I want to have in my toolbox. I want to take a breath. I want to not panic. I want to not start screaming at people. I want to try and listen. I want to keep an open heart. I want to give people the benefit of the doubt. I want to, whatever it is that you want to put into your toolbox for when things get difficult. Because we've come through the holidays, and for a lot of people the holidays are smooth sailing, and for a lot of people the holidays are really difficult. And so maybe we've come through all of that and we're like, whew, I don't want to even think about any of that stuff right now. And that's okay. But for other people, this is a time right now while it's quiet-ish, at the beginning of the year to say, okay, this is a 24 year, right? So we have 2 plus 0 is 2, plus 2 is 4, plus 4 is 8. So this is 8. This is going to be like, I love to put things in the Disney movie perspective, right? Because it's 90 minutes to tell a story. So in 2028, we are... Yeah, the holidays are difficult for a lot of us, Kelly, for a myriad of reasons. It could be people that we're with. It could be people that we're not with. It could be money. It could be expectation. It could be stress. There could be a lot. And I'm so grateful that you're here, and I hope that you've come through the holidays in a positive way. But so here we are. Where was I just going with all of that? So we're an 8 year, right? So in the Lion King, so Simba has gone off, he's met Nala, he's had this whole romp, and then he's starting to get the niggle that I need to go back and take care of things, I need to avenge my father, I need to make things right. And this is where we have the big battle. And apologies if you're not familiar with the Lion King story, but I figure it's old enough, most people have heard of it. And if not, it's like Henry VIII. I think it's Henry, it could be 5th. It's one of the Shakespeare's. Anyway, it's... the prodigal son returns and fights for his kingdom. And so this is where we are in this 8 year, right? We have the battle, and I'm sorry, I have like a cat hair or something in my eyelashes. So this is the battle for the soul of our selves, battle for the soul of our nations or our planet. This is the battle for the kind of a world that we want to make. And I'm not being political. I'm talking about the energy, about how we want to show up when those challenges are going to arise over the next, let's say 12 months, right? 11 and a half months. Because we know that this is a transitional year. And especially in the United States, this is going to be an election year as well. So we know that there's going to be a lot of drama, regardless of what side of, whatever your views are, there's going to be drama. This is a year to shake things up. Now, these are the things that we want to be aware of, that we want to prepare for. However, we cannot energetically prepare for crisis and prepare for abundance at the same time. So we talked a lot last, before December was over, we talked a lot about putting together, like taking the time to recap your year, to look at the things where we could say, okay, this is what I could learn. This is where, where things went well. This is where things went, were challenging. What could I learn from this? And to put those things into our toolbox. And hopefully you took some time to do all of that, to like flip back through your journal or your date book or whatever it was. And at the same time, then now we take these things that we've learned and say, how can I add these to my toolbox to be stronger and more in control as I go forward? Now, keeping in mind, we can only be in control of ourselves, right? We can't control what's going on in the world around us. And so it's the second part, which is knowing what we can control, what we cannot control. And if the things that we cannot control, we can release. But we don't just say, oh, I can't do anything about that, so never mind. That's not the right answer, in my opinion. If it's something that we can't control, we can say, I can't control this, but I can send good energy that way. I can send love and gratitude and positive energy that way, so that people who are doing things that maybe we don't agree with, maybe we don't have the ability to make a change there, but we can send energy there, okay? So we can be part of the solution, even if we're not, on, at ground zero, waving a flag or marching a march or singing a song or whatever it is. We can still be part of shifting the energy. So we talk about in Judaism, in Pirkei Avot, one of the famous sayings the rabbis would say is, we are not required to complete the task, but nor are we free to ignore it. We have to be involved. And so we look at the things that we can control and we say, okay, I can control myself, I can control how I react to things. So what are the things I've learned from and learned in the past that I can use these things to move forward? And what are the things that we can try to be better? And when we don't act as our best selves because we are having a moment and it's a crisis or it's a surprise, it's something caught us off guard, and we just are like, whoa, and we act out of our toolbox. And if that is maybe not the highest version of ourselves, that we give ourselves grace. And we say, I did not do that the best way that I could do it. And I'm going to take a breath. I'm going to forgive myself. I'm going to say thank you to all involved, that hopefully all is well. And I'm going to send energy to the best positive outcome. Best positive outcome. Best positive outcome. Okay? So that we are creating a positive energy around a thing that we may not be able to change physically, but we are also in sending that positive energy to create positive energy around something that we cannot necessarily change physically. We are then cavitating with that and receiving positive energy back. We are receiving that positive energy back to say, okay, I have now the ability to be energized because I am engaged and I feel like I'm doing something, which now empowers me to expand my energy to see where else I can contribute. At the same time, we give ourselves grace for being able to contribute in a way that serves us. Okay, and that's not a selfish thing. Okay, we are contributing and participating in the world in a way that serves our highest and best good by cultivating our rising vibrations and being able to control what we can, making our best decisions in the moments, forgiving ourselves when we don't necessarily make the best decisions, making amends where necessary, and being able to put together an energy channel, an energy conversation where we are sending positive energy where we can, even if we can't make a physical change, so that we're not just looking at things and go, well, there's nothing I can do, so whatever. So we're staying engaged in helping create the kind of a world we want to live in by putting positive energy in, which empowers us that we are doing something, we are being part of it, and it allows us then to receive that positive energy back to say, okay, where can I take this received positive energy and use it to do something good somewhere else? We create this cycle of feeding and receiving positive energy, especially when we can say, well, that did not go the way I would have hoped, but I'm going to use what I learned and I'm going to forgive myself for not acting in the highest version of myself in a moment of panic and crisis. And I'm going to try to do better next time, and I'm going to say, I'm grateful that all is well, and we're going to move forward. Because we can hear that car crash, right? That noise of a car crash. And I was just talking about that when my phone crashed and turned my computer off. So we can hear that noise if you've ever been in a car accident, and hopefully nothing serious, but you can hear that that sound, and that sometimes that sound can stay with us over and over again. And every time we hear it in our mind, it's like, and we bring ourselves back to the trauma instead of bringing ourselves back to the everything is okay. We did the best we could in the moment, and I'm going to send positive light and love and energy and positive energy to the situation, and I'm going to use that to fuel both sides of the situation and move us all forward. Does this make sense? I hope this is making sense. This was like given to me. Honestly, they were showing me like flow charts and energy flow and all kinds of stuff. They were getting very creative in my brain before we came on. So hopefully this is making sense too. All of this is to say, this is going to be a year of jumble, a year of change. And right now, as we're getting ready to come into the new moon in Capricorn, Capricorn is all about gearing up. Capricorn, especially this new moon, is all about getting our priorities in order, gearing up to get into the game, figuring out where we want to go, what we want to do, what do we want to build, what do we want to create. This is the new moon in Capricorn that starts on Thursday. So right now, like if you haven't, and I'm not big on New Year's resolutions, but who do you want to be in 2024? What do you want to accomplish? What do you want to contribute? What do you want to be a part of in 2024? Because this is going to be a year of change. This is absolutely going to be a year of turmoil and change. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be all bad, okay? Because we can shake that snow globe and the things fall down, and suddenly we look at it and go, oh, wow, all right, I can do that. That's cool. I didn't see it that way before, because the snow had settled on the ground, and we're used to looking at the things we're used to looking at. Wayne Dyer would always say, when you change the way you look at things, when you change the things you look at, I think he say, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at will change, something like that. We are so accustomed to looking at the things that we look at. We're so accustomed to seeing things. You look around your house. You're so used to seeing the things that are in your house because you look at them all the time. But if somebody came in and they moved your furniture around, you wouldn't necessarily, oh, Piper CJ Tiro, we're going to delete you. We're going to ban you. If you're a spammer and you're up, there you go. We're going to ban you. Okay, bye. We don't have spammers here. Okay, bye. If you're a spammer, just go because we'll ban you. It's very simple. So if you looked around your house and you had, hi Gina, if you looked around your house, I see you Ethel, if you look around your house, oh, I'm so glad, Beth. Yes, oh, I'm so glad. So if you looked around your house, you're going to see all the things that you have in your house, right? Because you're used to looking at them because you're looking at them all the time. But if you look in the back, like, shelf in the stuff that's in the back and you brought all that stuff to the front, you'd be like, oh, I totally forgot that stuff is back there, right? Because we are looking at the same things over and over again, and so therefore our thoughts are the same over and over again because we're looking at the same things. When we change what we are looking at, the way we look at things will change. Something to that effect, Wayne Dyer. Okay, so this is the time for us to change what we are looking at, and change how we are looking at ourselves and how we are looking at what we want to be and where we want to go and how we want to be part of this, 2024. Because it is going to be a shake the snow globe year. But that doesn't have to be a bad thing. And so if we start 24 and we say, oh, it's going to be so terrible because it's an 8. And Simba's coming back to take the kingdom, and it's going to be a battle. And we miss out. Those are the things we're choosing to look at. And we're missing out on looking at all the other things that could be blessings. They absolutely could be blessings. There have been so many things that have come to us because we were just like, well, that is not what I expected. And that kind of sucks. But if you look behind it, you look beyond it, there's something more. And as humans, our instinct is very often to be what's in the front, and we don't look behind. We don't look deeper. And so this is an opportunity for us to look a little deeper as things start to shake up. Oh, sorry, I have a cat hair in my eye. It's really, really annoying me. So that we are looking a little deeper, and we are building up our toolbox so that we are capable of handling more. So that when some kind of a crisis or some kind of an unexpected situation pops up, because sometimes those things feel like they popped up in front of our face and we're like, ah! That ah is not our reaction. That we have trained ourselves to be like, ah, okay, let me look at it. Okay, something's good in here. I got to figure it out. We're going to go forward, and we're going to trust. We're going to trust, okay? So this is going to be a year of change. There's going to be turmoil and tumult, but again, it doesn't need to necessarily be a bad thing. I see that there are horrible, horrible things that are happening in other parts of the world, in other parts of my town. There are things that are happening. A motorist struck a bicyclist, an older gentleman on a bicycle, and the gentleman died. That's horrible. I am so sad by this because I know so many friends who bicycle, and it makes me fear for them. So I can't control that situation, but what I can do is send love and light to all who were involved, and to send prayers for peace and strength. And then I want to send prayers for protection and love and guidance to all of my friends who bicycle. Okay? This is how we operate. Does this make sense? I'm not berating myself for being like, well, I can't do anything about that, so I guess I won't worry about those people. Now, we don't need to get involved in everyone else's problems, right? We want to stay in our lane, but at the same time, sometimes those things can create that secondary trauma for us when we read those things on the news and we see these stories and we're just like, oh my God, it's just, like, a puppy or, a child left in a car or, these things that can really hit us deeply. We can feel very helpless. And so we want to remind ourselves we don't need to get in there and solve everyone else's problems, but we are not helpless either. We can use what we have in our toolbox to pray for the people and send love and healing energy to the people involved, and feel gratitude come back to us, feel gratitude that we were not the ones, it was not our loved one that was hit by a car on a bicycle. And that's not selfish. That's real. That's being filled with gratitude and using our energy to shift our countenance, right? Because we can stay in that place and be like, oh, it's so terrible. And it is terrible, but we can be grateful that it wasn't our loved one, which, I live here in Florida. That's kind of a common thing. We're like, I wouldn't wish a hurricane on anybody else, but boy, am I glad it's not coming here, right? And Floridians will tell you that all the time, right? When a hurricane comes on, during hurricane season, we're all like that. We wouldn't wish that on anybody else, but at the same time, we're super glad it's not coming here. That's not selfish. That's just being real in a situation. When we send love and prayers and all those things to the other people, and at the same time we fill ourselves with gratitude that is not, then right? That we are not so involved, and we can use that gratitude to say, how can I send that energy out into the world in a positive way? So I send that energy to my friends who bicycle, okay? Because there's several of them who I know are avid cyclists, and of course I would want them to be safe. So what happens is I send that loving, protective, grateful energy to, let's say, Joe, okay, who's a bicyclist, avid bicyclist, not his real name. And we send that to Joe. Now Joe has this wonderful energy that's around him, whether he chooses to accept it or not. From the law of grace, I can send this energy to him and put this bubble of protection around him, and he can now feel a little bolstered, a little loved, a little, something, and he's going to pass that forward to be extra nice or extra something to his wife or to his, the barista or whatever. It's that pay it forward part that's not just about good deeds, but it's about good energy. And this is how we fix things. When we take our energy and we realize we are not powerless, we are powerful, and we take our energy, we use it as a motor, as an engine to be able to raise the vibration and change the energy of everyone. So I send energy to you, energy comes back to me positively, because I've sent that energy with love and with gratitude and with prayers for your betterment and your peace and your safety. That cavitates back to me. I use that to then put that energy to somewhere else where it could do some good in the world. That person receives that energy and they take it and they use it for something else that could do good in the world, and again and again and again. And we become like the power cord. I went to, and Aaron, I know you were there on Saturday night. On Sunday, my husband and I went to the Central Florida Zoo, where they have an absolutely amazing Asian Lantern Festival. We can walk through the zoo at night and see all these incredible, giant Asian lanterns of every animal and shape, and just incredible works of art. But one of the things that I noticed was this year, and it's different every year, and this year I noticed they had a couple of things where little kids could stand on a charge plate. Adults too, they could stand on the charge plate. And in that, it had a little cable of lights, red lights, that wound around until it reached its destination and activated the lantern. And I particularly liked that towards the exit there was a little cannon that blew a smoke ring, and the kids got such a giggle out of it because they had to step on the charge plate and they watched the red lights light up along this rope of like a rope of lights, and you could see it go around to like it would be the the fuse, and it would go around to the back of the cannon, and the cannon would go poof, and a little smoke ring would come out, and it was just adorable. But that's how our energy is. We send our energy out into the world, and it's got to go along and go along. It finds its place, and then poof, and then it can be a blessing and a gift to someone else. So there's a couple of things that I want to bring this kind of full circle. There's a couple of things. One is forgive ourselves for acting in the way that we are programmed to in moments of crisis. Okay. Second of all, take time to try and arm your toolbox with things that we can be like, oh, there's a crisis. Take a breath. Oh, okay, am I going to run around like a screaming person? Or am I going to try and be calm and try and, be better in the situation? And sometimes we can't make those decisions in the heat of the moment. And sometimes we can look at that after the fact and go, oh, I didn't do my best there. Let me see how I can do better next time. We forgive ourselves. Okay. Hopefully all is well. And we move forward. And when we see things that are a crisis for someone else, or something that's going on that we think, I can't fix it, I can't, there's nothing I can do, instead of just releasing it of there's nothing I can do, take that 1 minute that sends light and prayers and love to that situation. Because even if we can't change it, we can still energize it for the higher good of all. We may not be able to change legislators. We may not be able to change, court things or legal whatevers, but we can send that positive energy to the protection and to the higher vibration of all, so that when those things have an outcome, they are hopefully for the better and not for the worse. Now, is it a guarantee? No. But we do the best that we can. And when we send that energy out, we receive energy back, because we all cavitate off each other. We receive that energy back. We energize ourselves, and then we can take that energy and put it someplace more productive. Hopefully this all makes sense. Okay. And we want to remind ourselves not to live in the secondary trauma, right? We hear that crunch of the accident, and we can live in that crunch, 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 and we can just terrorize ourselves over and over again, rather than saying, nope, all is well. Every time I would hear the crunch of the accident, I'm like, okay, all is well, all is well, all is well. And you remind yourself, and sometimes you have to do that a lot. All is well, everything is okay, everyone's okay, everyone is safe, everything is okay. And eventually that becomes the dominant refrain rather than the crunch or the crisis. Okay? So we remind ourselves that all is well. We also remind ourselves that even while we know that this is going to be a tumultuous year, this is going to be a year where the snow globe is going to get shook, that doesn't have to be a bad thing. That when we change what we are looking at, The way we look at things will change. All right. All right, let's do some cards. Let's do some cards. Let's do some cards. Let's do some cards. I am, we're a little bit behind what I have in my mental schedule today, but that is because we had a catastrophic failure of the computer restarting itself in the middle of our time together. So we will catch back up. So, hello. Hello, Victoria. Hello. Hello. All right. Kelly Bailey, where in Florida are you? I am curious to know. Nobody said where they were from today. It's because it's mostly non-new people. All right, so we're going to do, I see you, Kimmy. So we're going to do a couple of cards for the collective, and then we'll do individual card readings in a minute, okay? So hang in there with me. So we'll do a couple of collective cards for the week. All right, so we've got mending. This is our first card, is mending, right? I got to get my flashlight because these cards that have this white writing on them. So mending. Okay, so this card is 52 for anybody who was interesting. So this is this reminder that we're not alone, right? This goes, oh, Australia, fantastic. This is reminding us that we're not alone. This mending card reminds us that we can ask for help. We can ask our higher guidance for help. We can ask our angels and guides for help. We can ask our loved ones in spirit for help. They are there to help us. They may not have the same powers that angels and guides may have, but we have loved ones in spirit. We have so many folks on the other side of the veil that are wanting to, thank you, Erin, that are wanting to help us. And so mending reminds us that we are not alone, that we can ask for help, and that it is up to us to ask for the help. And here's the other thing about mending is also about building bridges. This is also about building bridges. So when we are connecting with other people who may have a different viewpoint from us, people where we may have had cross purposes, cross conversations, maybe we've had some challenges in the relationship, mending is about building those bridges. And so this is one of those things that is also a part of and putting those things in our toolbox, right? So we are putting the ability and the willingness to hear another person, to hear another viewpoint, to listen more than we speak, to support and to welcome others to our space. That's all part of mending, and that's all part of arming ourselves with, putting things in our toolbox for this coming year. So mending is a fantastic place to start because it reminds us, A, we're not alone, but it also reminds us that, B, we can build coalition, we can build bridges, we can build collaboration. That's where mending is really powerful. All right, our second card is Loyal Heart. Loyal Heart. Okay. And Loyal Heart has these two beautiful birds with their crowns. This is card 35. And Loyal Heart is all about being loyal to yourself, being loyal to your connection to spirit, and being loyal to your path. Keeping yourself, like staying in our lane, right? We want to send love to the people who, had a crisis. We want to send strength and prayers for peace and love and all those things. But then we want to use that energy that we've sent out as it cavitates back to us. We want to use that to lift ourselves up and move our own selves forward on the path, or move others that we care about forward on their path, or to at least send energy to them. We can't really move somebody onto their path, but to send energy to help empower others. So we are staying loyal to not just our path and our energy, but I want you to notice these two birds, they're wearing crowns. You see they're sitting on a heart, first of all, and second of all, they are wearing crowns, which means they're in charge. They're in charge of their destiny, they're in charge of their energy, they're in charge of the direction that they're going. They are the rulers of their path. And that's something that we forget, that we feel like we're not in charge. And I want to remind you that we are. We are the masters of our destiny. We are the ones in charge of our own path, how we go forward. And when we look at things from that positive angle, rather than looking at things from like, the sky is falling, we can really change our energy, and the way we see things is going to change. We are the main characters of our own life. And so these birds are wearing those crowns because they are the king and the queen of their life, of their path. All right, so our third card is orphaned, and this one came in upside down. So we've seen orphaned before, and orphaned does not mean that we're alone. Orphaned means that we have this time for introspection and to go inside, and this is card number 5. And so when we have this card that is upside down, this orphaned card, it says we are really looking inside at where we want to go, and we are looking at taking some time to do that introspective work so that we can be clear about what that path wants to look like for us. We take some time. We're not orphaned as in abandoned. We are taking some time to go inside, to really cocoon and say, okay, where am I going? What is it I want? What does that path want to look like, right? Because here is this path, this mending, this building bridges. Here's this path, and here's the birds that are saying, these gorgeous owls that are saying, you are the king and the queen of your path. You are the one that is in charge of this. And then here comes orphan that says, well, you better take a minute to figure out what that means and where you want to go and what you want that to look like, right? But as it comes in upside down, it's a reminder that we're not alone, right? This card, because it comes in upside down, it's a reminder that we're not alone, that we have those allies with us that we've been talking about that are around us to help lift us and support us, okay? We are not orphaned. We are not. We can choose to be introspective. We can choose to go inside, but we are not on our own, right? We have so much other help that is with us if we are choosing to tap into it. All right, so we're going to grab cards. We're going to shuffle. I'm going to start with Instagram because they always have to wait. So we're going to start with Instagram today. We're going to do a couple cards over there. We're going to come back in. If you are ready to have a card for today, please do put it in the chat that says to me, may I have a card, please? Please only put it in once because there's only so much of a chat window that I can see the comments, and if you go, if you do it 10 times, I will miss somebody. I do the cards in order. All right, in the order of the requests. And so we're going to start with Gina over on Instagram. And I see Bianca and Michelle and Ellen, and we're going to start with Gina. All right, so Gina, this card is glasses. This is Deep Knowing, Gina. This is card 43. Oops, I'm stuck. So Gina, this is Deep Knowing. This reminds you of the things that you know in your heart to be true. This is allowing this new moon to illuminate what is not obvious to you. This is allowing, see, we have this new moon, right, that's coming, that we are allowing, again, we talked before about taking the things from the back of the bookshelf and bringing it to the front so that we could see things differently. This is reminding you to trust yourself, and it is also reminding you about what's not obvious to your vision, looking a little bit deeper at the situation to say, what is it I'm missing? How can I turn this situation into a positive? What can I learn from this? How can I dig a little bit deeper here? This new moon is a new opportunity, and it's a new place for you to grow. And it is about trusting your instincts, but they're asking you to look beyond that knee-jerk reaction, to look beyond those gut instincts, like that first, it's not the gut instincts, it's not your intuition. We never want to ignore our intuition, but it's looking beyond that knee-jerk reaction. That is our first moment where we were just like, okay. And so Gina, they're asking you to look a little bit deeper there, okay? But I know you got this, totally. All right, so, Belinda, you're cracking me up. You're so funny. All right, so we're going to scroll back. We've got Bianca. All over the country, these folks. So exciting. And Australia. All right, Miss Bianca, exchanging gifts. Exchanging gifts. This is card number 27, exchanging gifts. So don't forget that you bring value to the table. Bianca, don't forget that you are, that there is value, that you bring value, that you have, that opportunities should benefit you as well as others, that you are not when things are one-sided, to remind yourself that you have value, that you are bringing gifts to the table, that as you are trying to create and build and grow, that you want to make sure that you are receiving and allowing yourself to receive as well. So a lot of times we put and we put and we put and we put, and then we forget to say, oh, thank you, right? Somebody gives us a compliment, someone gives us a gift, we have a tendency to be like, oh, no, 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 no. Oh, thank you. It's a complete sentence. Thank you is a complete sentence. To allow yourself to receive the gifts and to know that you have value, and when someone appreciates that value, that your comment is thank you, right? To allow yourself to take it in. Take it in. Your value, the things you bring to the table are important, okay? And when somebody is recognizing them, to be able to say thank you, okay? That can be hard for a lot of us. All right, Michelle. Michelle Krantz. So this card is co-create. Co-create, card number 40. Co-create. I love this because this is this card that is reminding you that you are. So you have this, I love this. You have this egg with the jaguar spots on it. You have the jaguar up here, and then you have the owl sitting way out there. Like, am I safe? Am I going to be part of this? Am I in the right place? Or is the jaguar going to eat you? Okay. And so this is reminding yourself that you are co-creating, that none of us are alone. We are co-creating with spirit every single day in everything that we are doing. We are in partnership. And so here we have, the jaguar, but here we have spirit down here in the egg. The egg is all possibilities, all things that could happen. And the egg is mirroring the white color of the owl, and it's also mirroring the spots of the jaguar. It's like, yeah, we are all in this together. We are all together. And so, Michelle, just trusting that you are not alone, and that the things that may look scary to you could be the things that are the most empowering to you as well, right? Because it could look like a big scary jaguar, but it could also be that courage, that leap of faith, because remember, he's sitting up on the edge here and he's looking out at these new opportunities. And jaguars are bold. They're not fearful. They are one of those predator cats. But just because the jaguar is looking at the owl doesn't necessarily mean he's going to eat the owl. They could be in partnership. This could be the signal, the thing that is emboldening you to take that leap of faith. Okay? Hopefully. Hope that makes sense. All right. So then we have Ellen, and then Belinda, whose phone also wants a message, apparently. All right, so we have Ellen. Okay, Ellen. You are welcome, Michelle. All right, Ellen. So this is the happy, happy card, but it comes in upside down. Ellen, so this is happy, happy. It's card number 26. And when it comes in upside down, it's a reminder that it's okay for you to laugh. It's okay for you to be silly. It's okay for you to not take things so seriously. It's okay for you to blow it off and, say, you know what? I'm going to, not do this thing today. I'm not going to do the dishes. I'm going to go roller skating. Something. Okay? It's okay for you to allow fun and laughter and joy to come in. It doesn't all have to be so serious. And here she is sitting on top of the egg, and she's got all this divine energy coming into her head, and that's inspiring her and giving her lots of things to think about and things to be able to want to grow. And she's sitting on the egg. So she's sitting on spirit. She's sitting on possibilities. She's sitting on co-creation, right? So she has all the opportunity in the world not to take things so seriously and to allow that inspiration. Inspiration doesn't come when we are like, we have to relax, have some fun, smile, loosen up a little bit, okay? So that's Ellen Jean. All right, so Belinda and Beth. All right, so we have Belinda and Beth. All right, Belinda. Milk and Honey. This is card 51. So this is the Milk and Honey card. So this is such a beautiful card because it's often about abundance, and it's about blessing. It's about good things that are coming. So this is You get to relax, enjoy the picnic. You get to enjoy the prosperity. You get to enjoy the blessings. So, Belinda, this is that good things are coming your way. You are welcome, Ellen. Belinda, this is good things that are coming your way, but remember to appreciate them. Remember to stay in that place of gratitude, right? We don't want to get jaded or complacent when the universe bestows incredible blessings on us. We want to say, thank you, thank you, thank you. And whatever your way of gratitude is right for you. Some people come to their knees to pray. Some people sit in meditation. Some people do good for others, whatever it is. But Belinda, this is going to be a time of abundance and a time of joy for you. And so make sure not only that are you allowing yourself to appreciate it, and you're allowing yourself to enjoy it. That means that when you that you don't feel guilty for taking time off, you don't feel guilty for going to do something that you enjoy. When I first started doing this work, one of the first big purchases that I made in with the money that I had earned from doing this work was I bought a hot tub for my husband and myself. It sits on our patio. It's not a big one. It's just enough for us. And my kids like going in it. And sometimes I feel guilty about taking time away to go and sit in the hot tub, but I know that it's so therapeutic and it does so much good for my body when I do that. And so I have to remember to stay in the place of gratitude even when I'm playing, right? So we take a little time off, we do something fun, maybe a little unexpected. We want to make sure that we are staying in that place of gratitude and joy and allowing ourselves to enjoy it, rather than coming to a place of like, I really should be checking my phone, I really should be like doing a to-do list, and we can create that guilt for ourselves. And so they're saying, Belinda, nope, enjoy, 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 stay in love and gratitude, stay in appreciation. All right, so here is for Beth Rogers. So where did I just go? Beth Rogers. This is the chop wood card, and this is number 42, chop wood 42. And this card is, see, you are so welcome, Belinda. All right, so this card is it's about doing the work that's in front of you, right? Chopping wood is about doing the work that's in front of you. It's keeping your eye on the ball, staying in your own lane, and making sure that you don't quit before you hit that finish line, right? Don't give up. Don't a lot of times we say, oh, I wanted to go do this, and then something greener happens, or we forget to come back to that thing. And so this is just reminding you, Beth, to stay in your lane, do the tasks in front of you, because they are going to bring you the biggest rewards, the biggest blessings, the most abundance. You're doing the things that are already in front of you. If you are the kind of person, and I don't know that you are, but that starts 20 different things, this is the opportunity for you to say, okay, let me prioritize and do the thing that really makes the most sense, or the thing that's going to bring me the biggest return or the most joy. Okay, so it isn't about, when I say biggest return, it's not necessarily financial. It could also be the most joy. So Beth Rogers, stay in your lane and choose the things that are going to give you that biggest return on the investment, however you define that. But make sure you're keeping your eye on the ball, right? We don't want to try and go off and fix everybody else. That's not our job, right? Our job is to stay in our lane and do the work that's in front of us. All right, Kimmy Smith, and then Karen. All right, Kimmy Smith. All right, Kimmy Smith, this is the orphan card that comes up again, Kimmy Smith. So, but it comes up right side up this time, Kimmy. And so this is this reminder, again, that you're not alone, right? But that we have this time to reconnect, right? Sometimes when this orphan card comes up, we are feeling cut off from others, or we're allowing ourselves to be cut off from others. Sometimes we just are like, I just cannot deal with people anymore. Like, we've finished the holidays. We know the holidays were difficult can be difficult for a lot of people. And we can just be, I just can't people. Like, I got my sister a coffee mug for the holidays that said, I can't go outside, it's too people-y out there. And we can hide ourselves away in that. And this is a reminder to take the time that you need, but don't live there, right? So this orphan card, Kimmy, is this reminder that it might be time for you to step out, okay? That maybe you've been in the cocoon and it's time to allow yourself to emerge. Only you know the answer to that. But it's just telling you this little nudge that says, don't stay in the cocoon forever. Even bears don't hibernate forever. They get up in the spring and they start going out into the world again, okay? So it's important that we are not keeping ourselves locked away from everybody else forever, even if it is kind of peoply out there. Okay? All right. Oh, there was a bunch of stories in the news here in Florida of baby bears, like young cubs getting up in trees and like in residential areas, and they had to tranquilize them and get them back into safe areas because they had woken up, and sometimes they were sleeping under porches and things, and they woke up in residential areas, and the people were like, oh, there's a bear in my tree. So the stories were kind of cute. All right, Karen Fisher. Karen Fisher. Okay, Karen. So the card for Karen is, this comes in upside down. This is flexible. This is card number 19, and it comes in upside down. So this is the reminder of what are you being not flexible about? Like, Karen, where can you be a little bit more flexible? Where can you be a little bit more open-minded? Keep your eyes on what's important, but again, allow for that snow globe to shake and let that snow fall out, and not just assume it's all going to be bad. And say, well, something might come from this, right? There may be, when we shake that snow globe up, to be able to say, you know, something else may be going on here. So allow yourself to be a little bit more flexible, to let things play out and not jump to conclusions. It's often where we feel like we know what's going to happen, and maybe we do, but this is reminding you that you might not know what's going to happen, and if you can expect the positive outcome, you may very well be pleasantly surprised. So, all right. So, Danielle. All right. And just as a reminder, we do turn off the comments as soon as we're done with the broadcast to do all that we can to protect you from spammers. So we don't want to have people coming in after the fact to send you some wacky messages and things. So we take zero tolerance for spammers here, and we want to make sure that we turn off those comments so that they're not coming in after the fact to bug you. So this card is for Danielle. This is, so interesting, so this is the Loyal Heart card. We saw this card already today. And so this reminds you, Danielle, to stay in your lane, that you get to be the captain of your ship. So if you look at these gorgeous owls, they are wearing the crowns, which means they are the king and the queen of their lives. They are the ones that are in charge. So you have more, Danielle, more power to control yourself, your space, what goes on in your little world, your little corner of the world. I'm not saying you have a little world, but to be able to have some, you have more power, you have more control than you think, to allow yourself to create the kind of a world that you want. So when it feels like there's things going on around you that maybe you don't have control over, just remember that they're sitting on the hearts, right? They're sitting on top of the heart that's in the egg, which is all possibility and all things that could come, all things that spirit could co-create with you, and that they're entwined together, which means they're working in concert together, they're working in collaboration together, they're looking at each other, they're going in their own directions, but they're tied together, they're connected, and they are creating something that they are in charge of, that they have much more power. They are the king and the queen. You have more power in your life to create and co-create with spirit the things that you want to have manifest in your world. So it feels like there's things that you've been sitting on that maybe you are looking at like, yeah, I don't really know if I can do that. And so this card is reminding you that you have a lot more power than you think. And so go for it. Go for it. All right, so we have Bonnie. Welcome, Bonnie. All right, and then we'll do one last card for the collective. So Bonnie, this is the Yang sign. This is card number 1. Look at all that creative power you've got there. Look at all of that. You are literally holding the power in your hands. The power of creation is being held in your hands. This is go forward. Go with confidence. Go with power. Go with, belief that you are literally creating what you have what you have thought, what you have in your mind is going to come to fruition, because you are holding this power in your hand. That everything is saying, you've got this, Bonnie. You've got this. So this stuff that you are creating, this direction that you are going in, go with confidence, go with gusto, go with complete faith that you're going in the right direction. So Danielle, you are so welcome, and we're going to do one more card for the collective just to finish it up, and then we're going to look forward to seeing you all on Thursday for meditation. So this is the never-ending story. This is card number 37, and this came in upside down. So this reminds us that we are, that we, again, staying in our lane, that we are not getting stuck in someone else's story. This never-ending story is not ours, right? We are on our own path. We have the crowns. We are the owls. We are going in our direction. That somebody else's drama, and this kind of wraps back around what we were talking about from the beginning. If something is going on and there's a crisis, we're sending love and light and prayers and gratitude for the best outcome to go over there. We receive that energy back. We can use that to empower ourselves, and then we can turn that around and send it back out to people that we love or situations that we want to empower. Even if we don't have the physical ability to make a change in that moment, we can use our positive energy to send love and light for the most positive outcome for the situation. It is still something we can do to be involved, even if we can't necessarily have boots on the ground to affect the physical change. We can send an energetic change. We empower others with our energy by lifting our own energy, by sharing that lifted energy with others. They in turn share it with others. It is the energetic version of pay it forward. Okay, and so we do that by empowering the energy, but not getting caught in the drama. Okay, all right, so we're going to leave it there for today. I want to wish you all, again, a happy, healthy, joy-filled new year. This is going to be a year of change and shift and shaking the snow globe, but remember, that doesn't have to be bad, okay? It doesn't have to be bad. When we change what we look at, when we change how we look at things, we change how we look at things, right? So we're going to let the snow globe shift, and we're going to know that there is some blessing in it. There's something good that's going to come from it. This is going to be a year of change, and we're ready for it. Right? We're ready for it. We're going to act in the best way that we have, using the tools in our toolbox, and we're going to give ourselves grace and forgiveness when we don't do that, right? So we're going to live from a place of love and gratitude. And I am so filled with gratitude for you for spending some time with me today. I'm sorry for the technical difficulties we had in the beginning, and I am sending you so, so much love in this new year. Mwah.